Hello ladles and jelly spoons, Tim Dowd at home here. Today's recipe is a staple in our house really, we quite like it. I don't know where I got the recipe from, so I can't give you any details on that, but it basically is fried feta cheese. And we get some feta cheese, usually in a little block, cut it into soldiers and dip it in corn flour. So that's basically it. You can season the corn flour if you want, but you don't have to. In fact, I prefer it not, but just dip it in corn flour. You've got to be careful with them because if you cut them too thin, then they're going to break. So make sure you've got nice thick soldiers. I cut them a bit too thin last night, so the ones you're going to see are going to be too thin. But so if you've got a big block of feta cheese, you can cut that in half, then cut each one of those in half and each one of those in half again, so you get like 8 pieces out of a block. If it's a smaller block, then you get 6 pieces, and if it's a bigger block, you can either cut it lengthways, then cut it a bit like a small fish finger, I would say. That's what you're going for, the small fish finger. So you dip those in corn flour. Before you do that, you're going to make the beans. Now, the beans in the original recipe was just garlic and onions in a pan with pinto beans. It's like baked beans, but no tomato sauce. And then you can add your own tomato puree if you want. And then it's cumin, I think is the spice that they used, cumin. But yesterday, I did a little bit of tomato sauce with it. And also, I did whole cumin and onions. And then I put in a bit of water to basically loosen it up. And then boiled it down to the thickness I wanted. But I didn't boil it enough, so it was a little bit runny on the plate, but you can get away with that. You can either drain them and do them again, or just make sure that they're a reasonable consistency, not too dry, but not runny wet like baked beans on a plate. So once you've done your beans, keep them warm, or you can heat them up later. You do your salad after that. So your salad basically is anything you want. So like pico de gallo or something like that. But what I did is beetroot, which is the main taste of this salad. It's got to have beetroot in it. Unless you don't like beetroot, then you can have something else. Beetroot, and I did also spring onions, the large ones you get here in the Canary Islands, and radishes. So just toss your salad together, a little bit of vinegar or lemon juice, or even lime juice, a little bit of salt and pepper, and some oil. Right, so you got everything together now. You've got your cheese with corn flour on it. You've got your beans keeping warm or bubbling away. And you've got your salad in the fridge ready to serve. Let's fry these puppies. So basically what you do is you put in a fairly large amount of oil. So make sure that the oil will come halfway up, or about halfway up the cheese. So however deep the cheese is, you need your oil to be coming about halfway up. Get the oil to heat, so medium-high heat, and carefully drop the cheese in. And the secret here is don't move them. So let the crust form in the oil, and you'll basically see the color changing halfway up. And when that goes to a nice golden brown color, pick one up. You might have to shake it a little bit to get it off the bottom, but just make sure that you're not taking the skin off, so you're not picking the cheese up, leaving the skin stuck. And secondly, make sure the cheese isn't melting, so you've got to do it fairly hot. In fact, what you could do is keep the cheese in the fridge until you're frying it as well, so that it doesn't melt too quickly. So that's good. So you need to build up a crust on one side, then flip them over, build up a crust on the other side. It doesn't have to be fully crusty before you turn it over. It just has to be solid, that you can actually turn it over. Because what happens then is the crust gets on the second side, and then you can keep flipping them over to get the brownness that you want. I like them fairly dark, but not too dark that it tastes burnt. And take them out and put them on a board. You don't have to have them immediately hot. In fact, they taste better after a while. They don't taste very good cold, I don't think. But you don't want them sort of like burning your mouth. So once they're done, take them out on a board. Then you can serve the beans on a plate, some salad next to it, and place a couple of slices of the cheese on the beans and enjoy. With it, you can have a glass of wine, or a beer, or a water, or anything you want, really. I think a beer goes quite nice, alcohol-free if you're not into that, and or a fruit juice if you're not into wine. So that is the simple recipe for today, and we'll see you on the next one. As we say, that's a wrap, like a tortilla. Stay tasty, my friends.